Alaikum. Class fourth year morning and evening session. This is your course in charge, Dr. Hirav Shah, and I am going to demonstrate the lab of clinical pharmacy. And today we will discuss the topic coronary heart diseases. So, I'm going to start with the overview of the coronary artery disease or CAD. And coronary artery disease is a disease which will develop when the major blood vessels that supply the blood to your heart they become damaged or diseased, or they become injured due to any factor. And cholesterol containing deposits, which is commonly known as plaques, will be deposit in the coronary arteries, and it will lead to the inflammation. And these are the factors which usually contribute for the coronary artery diseases. And the coronary arteries supply the blood, oxygen and nutrients to the heart. And a buildup of the plaque or the cholesterol containing deposits can narrow these arteries, and then it will decrease the blood flow to the heart, and eventually the reduced blood flow may trigger the chest pain or angina, and it will result in the shortness of breath or the other coronary artery disease sign and symptoms. Complete blockage can lead to the heart attack. So these are the sign and symptoms of the coronary artery disease: chest pain or angina, and the shortness of breath, heart attack. If the symptoms will aggravate, then it will lead to the heart attack. And the coronary artery disease is thought to begin with the damage or injury to the inner layer of the coronary artery, and sometimes it happens as early as childhood. And the damage may be caused by the various factors, including the smoking habits and the high blood pressure and the high cholesterol, diabetes or insulin resistance, or not being active in the routine life, or if someone has sedentary lifestyle. Once the inner wall of the artery would get damaged, then the fatty deposits, which is commonly known as plaque made of cholesterol and the other cellular debris or the waste products, tend to collect at the site of the injury, and this process is commonly known as atherosclerosis. And if the plaque surface breaks or ruptures, then the blood cells called the platelets clump together at the site to try to repair the artery, and this clump can block the artery, leading to the heart attack. For that purpose, we give the Ascard or the aspirin or the acetyl salicylic acid to the patients in order to minimize the risk of the heart attack, or in order to minimize the blockage of the arteries from the clumps of the platelet. So these are the risk factors for the coronary artery disease, which include the age, gender, family history, smoking, high blood pressure, high blood cholesterol levels, diabetes, overweight or obesity, physical inactivity, high stress or unhealthy diet. These are the basically factors which contribute to the coronary artery disease. Or some of them are modifiable factors and some of them are non-modifiable factors. Like the modifiable factors are those such as the smoking habits, which can um, be quit after some time or after some struggle. And the physical inactivity, we can also minimize this risk factor by changing the lifestyle, or through the exercise, through starting the exercises. Or the high stress or the unhealthy diet are also the modifiable factors. And the non-modifiable factors are those such as the age, gender, family history, and ethnicity. These are the non-modifiable factors. So here we have a case study regarding the coronary artery disease or the CAD. A 55-year-old man present to the primary care doctor clinic and he has a complaint of tightness in his chest and when he digs his garden, and it eases when he has at rest. On investigation, he has serum blood glucose level which has been elevated, and it is also considered to be a newly diagnosed non-insulin dependent type 2 diabetic patient. My question is that what cardiovascular investigation and treatment should this patient receive? Here are some findings of this patient, such as he is 55-year-old male and he complains tightness in his chest, and he has a raised serum blood glucose level, and he is diagnosed with the non-insulin dependent type 2 diabetes mellitus. Here is the assessment and plan of this patient. I have already discussed this case in my physical lab with all of you guys, and today I am just going to demonstrate it in my video. So the assessment and plan for this patient is the patient's blood pressure and electrocardiogram should be checked, and first and then he should be examined for the signs and symptoms of the hypertensive crisis or the diabetic target organ damage, including the albumin, urea. His serum lipid profile should also be measured, and you all know that the fasting is required in order to get the complete lipid profile. So we will recommend the testing of the complete lipid profile for this patient, and he should receive the GTN spray or the sublingual tablets for the chest symptoms that are almost certainly angina. And GTN is glyceryl trinitrate, which is a vasodilator, and it will increase the blood flow to the towards the heart, and so the heart will not have to work more stressfully in order to uh, contraction of in order to pump the blood from the heart. And he should take the aspirin daily, and a statin is also um, be a considerable medication if his lipid profile is abnormal. And after getting the results, we will start the statin for this patient. And some prescribers would give a statin in almost all diabetic patients or the coronary heart disease patients, and likewise and also gave the ACE inhibitors. And certainly any hypertension should be treated aggressively so that the diastolic pressure is less than 80 mm of Hg. A beta blocker may also be useful to control the blood pressure and prevent the further episodes of angina, but many prescribers would wait until there was evidence of failure of the other therapies. And in view of his relatively young age, a referral to the cardiologist for the possible angiography would also be considered, and the dietary advice and help to stop smoking or quit smoking if needed would also be given, and the diabetic treatments should also be given for this patient, as he has the newly diagnosed type 2 diabetes mellitus.